Hey, this is Jen. Thank you for being here. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I'm here with an energy update for the month of April. Um, Energy update for the collective, what's going on in the collective, and what's going on with the twin flame. We just had a huge full moon this week, and I bet a few of you have been into weird, chaotic situation as people were reacting very strongly to this full moon and starting this huge purge that we're about to go through. In April, big month for authenticity, for justice, for truth to come out. And for that to happen, usually it starts with a purge or a big release and just letting out whatever has been stuck in our energy or in our feelings or emotions in order to reveal the truth, in order to reveal our authentic side and authenticity, to basically break down and destroy our perceived self, the um, identity our ego wanted us to believe, who we thought we were, basically, or who we thought we are, which is not the real us. So, April, huge tower moments to bring that purge, that release, that letting go of what is not aligned with the energies of the collective and the planet. So at this point, a lot of people are running into being faced with themselves, being faced with what they did in the past that is not sitting right with them, being faced with their own truth, whether they like it or not. And that takes a lot of courage to admit that we've been wrong or we have not been authentic or true, or that we've been trying to hide. At this point, there is no more place to run. There is no more place or space to run. There's nowhere to go but to be our real selves, which is a really awesome news uh, for the entire planet and for the twin flame, because it will bring, after this phase of purging, it will bring justice. It will bring truth. And what I mean by justice is overall justice. You know, those situations where perhaps someone has been hiding the truth, making up things, or anything in relation to not being real that created a situation where someone had to pay the price for this, whatever that might be. Justice will be served. It will be. The balance, the universe is always in balance. We're trying to keep balance. So the balance will be back into a space of unity and a space of oneness. Therefore, universal justice has to be served in order to achieve that state of balance, if that makes sense. Meaning that all situations, unsolved situations, situations where someone is running away from the truth, well, now they can't run any longer. They cannot wear the mask anymore. And I know I've said this before, and we are there. We are right there. The masks are off. And it's really a peeling off of whatever is not aligned with divinity or our soul truth, our soul signature, our destiny, our path, our real selves, who we are inside. And that can hurt because it can come as a surprise for a lot of people, a huge tower moment of feeling lost, of feeling that we are losing people, losing things, losing jobs, or losing who we are, losing our lives, the way we built it. Well, I did mention it before. Trying to fight against our own destiny is impossible. It's like fighting against gravity. It does not work. It can only work for a short amount of time. And at one point or the other, the truth always comes out. And now that the veil is so thin, it's impossible for people to hide. Other people see it, they sense it. So, justice will be served. In April, this is a huge theme, a huge energy that we will feel. We will start sensing and feeling that things are shifting into balance, into more calm waters. But like I said before that, there will be a huge purge and release. All the things and the stuff that was made up from the ego or by the ego has to be released and will be released. So it is a good news for everybody and for the twin flame, because too many twin flames were trying to deny that connection, and that is no longer an option. But other than that, for everyone to be more authentic is really a good, I want to say gift, like an amazing gift, because a lot of people who are just being true and vulnerable at times, and they get lashed out or just for being themselves, that time is over. That time is over. I mean, on a general level, collective level, I'm speaking of, there will always be people that are mean, ill-intended, and that's our duty to have enough discernment to see that. But on a general level, people will start changing their perception. And I said that in my last video, but it's not necessarily on a conscious level. It's more like the energies are taking us there. Therefore, there is no more space to hold any kind of lower energy. Those energies, they must be gone. And they will be gone. They are gone for a lot of people. Now the other wave or the other group of people will go through that. So if at this point you have been doing a lot of work in healing and you're pretty authentic and you're able to recognize when your ego is trying to make you say something or trying to make you do something, and you're able to just put it aside and not listen to your mind and your ego, but listen to your heart, you might feel like you're being stopped or slowed down, and that's normal. That's for other people to catch up with this. So if you're in that group, don't stress out because things are slowing down. Just enjoy that ride. Enjoy it to rest and rejuvenate, to practice your hobbies or spend time with friends and do lighter things, lighter stuff, fun stuff, while the others are working. Because the group that is working will require some help, some support, and a lot of them, unfortunately, will feel lost or may lash out, not knowing what's happening. So it's really important for the first group to just stay in balance and stay still and hold the space and help other people to move through that purge and that release and those tower moments. Some people will feel huge, one big huge tower moment, and others will be like a series of small tower moments. And when that happens, it's just to remind us that we're not on the right path, on our path, we're not following our destiny. And it usually shows up with bad experiences or problems and ordeals to make us understand that we're going the wrong way and that we need to turn and go on our path and follow our path, even if our ego is trying to say, but yeah, but this is boring. Yeah, but this is taking too much time. Yeah, but like this is lonely because this, because that. That's always the ego speaking. So, meditation at this time is really important for those who feel that they're slowing down, just to hold the balance, and meditation for those who are about to walk in that huge releasing and purge. Um, because purging is never fun, of course, but because it's necessary. There's no more time and space to not be real and authentic. Fears, anger are two big energies for April as well. Fears, in the sense that if you're still being driven by fear, you're gonna face and you're gonna be faced with your fears, to deal with them and release them and transform them. Because when we are being led by fears, that's ego, that's not our heart, and we're not being on our path, and we're not being authentic, and we are keeping ourselves from achieving higher levels, and we are keeping ourselves from expansion, real expansion. And the veil being so thin at this point that it's easy to spot who is dealing with fears and who is not, and pretending that they are, or pretending that they don't have them. It's easy to feel it, to sense it. It's not always visible. So it's easy to feel it. Like, people are going to start reacting to that physically and being unable to be in the presence of a person that is full of fears. All it takes is the motivation to say, I'm going to shift this. And it's not going to happen overnight, but just having the good intention of doing it is a good start. Anger. Anger being a very heavy energy and low energy, needs to be purged. This full moon that we had this week brought a lot of anger for the divine masculine. And I'm talking about twin flames, but I'm talking also about the divine masculine that we all have within. A lot of anger from all kinds of past situations. Doesn't matter which past situation it is, could be this lifetime or other lifetimes. That anger needed to come out because it was too toxic, and it is too toxic to even allow one bit of anger into our energy. It makes no sense. There is no good reason to stay angry at someone or a situation. There is no good reason to be afraid of a situation or someone or something. Being angry is hiding fears. You're angry because of what? Because you're angry that the other person might be right, or might be mirroring back something that you don't want to see. You're angry at someone because it is too painful to look in the mirror. I'm not talking about saying that this person is right, but looking in the mirror of what they're reflecting back to you, that's fears. When you're fearless, you're able to look and acknowledge that it's there and that you're like that or you did that, and you're able to heal it. But being angry is a huge defense system. It can hide insecurity, but then again, what is insecurity? It's fears in a costume of insecurity. So facing your fear, and I said that before, let fear be your guide. This is where the most expansion can happen. This is where the most beneficial healing energies and situation can happen to set you free. I mean, to me, it makes no sense. Like, who would want to stay in their fears or anger all day long, knowing that it's playing in the background of their mind? Even if you don't hear it all the time, it is playing. It is there. Just like on a computer that is running so much programs in the background, that's the way we are too. So do we want these programs to be positive and motivating and uplifting, or full of fears and negative emotions and energies? I mean, if we have that running like an old tape in our mind, or running without us being aware, it's an automatic fail. So, authenticity, justice, will bring a breakdown of these programs, which are rooted in our thought patterns. And this applies a lot to the Divine Masculine. They are about, some of them already are or are done with this, but the collective is about to step into a huge purging phase of their fears, their anger, the way they used to see life, the way they used to see themselves, the way they used to see their relationships. They will see where they got stuck in fear, unable to act because of their wrongful thought patterns, because of the false identity that they built for themselves or kept on believing based on their family education or school system, society. Things like men don't cry, men don't show emotions. That makes no sense. Men or women, we're all human beings with emotions and feelings, and expressing them is a very healthy way to live a life. Not expressing them is a very unhealthy way to live a life. And unfortunately, a lot of Divine Masculine were stuck in those prisons that were built along the way through situations they've been through relationships they've been through, and they were unable to see a way out, unable to see how to undo those programs. And mind you, it's not easy. It takes a lot of energy and efforts, and it takes a lot of honesty towards ourselves to be able to look in the mirror and acknowledge, yes, I'm stuck in fear. Now what? And what comes after the now what is a personal process, as everybody's different. Just like, how do I let go? How do I surrender? That's a personal process. There is no one recipe fits all for that. Same goes for fear and anger. To me, when I feel fear or anger, I like to acknowledge it and just ask the question, what do I need to understand from being angry at this? What do I need to understand from being afraid of this? And I don't go any further into the questions of doing the pros and cons or situation, because that's where, I get lost. I just ask in meditation, what is it that I need to understand so that I'm able to release it, surrender to it until it transforms completely. For some people, it may take a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, a few months. Very few people are able to release and let go like in minutes. That's rare. Some say they can do it, but that goes with the authenticity energies of April. Those who say that they can, a lot of them will just, shove things under the carpet, pretending that they released everything or that they don't care. And that's not being authentic. So there is no more time for these kinds of behaviors, and these people will be faced with that in April. As far as the Divine Masculine, a lot of them have been changing their work situation and moving. either moving places, their homes, or moving something when it comes to work. So either changing jobs, careers, thinking about changing careers, or changing something at work to help them be happier, because a lot of them were not happy at work. It was just a place to make money and to bring money back home, to eat, to live, and that's fine. We all need to do that. But they didn't allow themselves the right to enjoy their work and have fun and just express themselves fully. A lot of them chose what they're doing in life. They chose it from a mental aspect, from, I don't want to say ego, because it was not necessarily a wrong choice, but more of a down to earth kind of perception, thinking if I do this, I'm never gonna be in lack or need to worry about money. Therefore, it's a safe choice. Again, choosing for safety hides a lot of fears. When we are totally aligned with ourselves and in full trust and faith that we're doing the right thing for us and living from our heart, it's impossible to live or go through lack. It doesn't exist. Life is abundant. Life will always, life or universe or God or the divine, whichever way you want to call it, is abundant. And when we are aligned, there is always opportunities showing up. It's only a matter of, do we want to take them or not? So the divine masculine is working through all of that. And a lot of them, I'm sensing that they are moving or have moved not too long ago to, as a symbol, it shows up as a symbol of a chapter being done and something new being started. And it's the rebirth of the divine masculine. It really is. We're all, each and every one of us, we're all healing the divine masculine within us. We're all working on achieving that balance. And that translates into all kinds of shifts in behaviors. For example, let's take a male in a physical body expressing more their emotions. That's healing the divine masculine and becoming more in balance with the divine feminine, operating more from their heart, being more in compassion towards other people. And if we take a woman, for example, let's take a woman who's very, who looks like in control, never expressing one feeling or emotion. That woman is most probably too much into her divine masculine, and she is working on healing that at this time, to become a little bit more soft and embody more her divine feminine within. Being more flexible, any kind of emotion that relates to the feminine. So as we are healing the masculine, the feminine will have more space and place, and the two will become more in balance. So that's the balance, universal balance that we're trying to achieve as a collective. But the divine masculine in the twin flame is really being worked on and pushed and motivated to heal that. There's no more space. There's nothing. There's no more rope to run away with. And should you try to go rogue with this, well, good luck, because it's not going to work out for long. It won't. Too many people have been doing the work before and for a long time to achieve this. We're there now. So it's really a time to celebrate all the work that has been done, to celebrate our victories, to celebrate that balance that we have achieved and that we will achieve very shortly in the next 3 months or so, to celebrate the justice and the truth coming out and being served. And I don't say that in a negative or to be mean when I say justice being served. Justice is always being served. It is not always being served in the way that we envisioned, but it is always being served. So a lot of people will have to clear karma in regards to that justice being served, making things right. Apologies. We will start hearing about people receiving apologies from people from their past, either their twin flame or old friend or someone from their past. Apologies. A change in behaviors in the way of, I'm sorry I did this to you. I really don't know why I did that or what I was thinking at the time when I did that. And I should have apologized a long time ago. And I'm sorry I did not. That's extremely healing and powerful to be on the receiving end of this. And to receive in the way of, aha, I told you I was right. That, of course not. That's not what I mean. But to receive in the way of, congratulations, you've grown a lot. Congratulations, you've healed a lot if you're now able to see that the way you acted was out of line, out of alignment, out of your own personal authenticity. Receiving in that way, receiving in the loving, compassionate way, and not receiving from the ego. So really receiving the person totally, entirely, with their flaws and their qualities, and accepting that they weren't able to do it before. We're going to hear and see a lot of stories like that in the next, I don't know how many months, 6 months or so, maybe more. Like, we're just about to start. That's what April is: authenticity, justice, the fears, the anger, all of that will either come out or be gone, and then the healing process will happen. So we are looking at a wonderful next 3 months, at a wonderful healing phase that will bring us even more together and in balance, and in the energy of oneness, which is amazing, So the divine masculine are still working very extremely hard, and they are almost there. I mean, that purging phase that a lot of them will go through will just change just about everything in the way they see life. They see the twin flame connection, they see themselves, and that's where the healing of the separation or the connection will take place. And of course, for the divine feminine, being in balance is really important, and embracing that healing and embracing the fact that they've done the work. It is done. They've done it. So there's no need to be angry or to be like, dude, why did it take you so long? None of that. Just accepting and welcoming those new energies. So yeah, pretty interesting month of April ahead. That's it for now. Thank you for being here. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can do so using my email at indigogirl555@hotmail.com, not Hotmail, Gmail. indigogirl555@gmail.com. Sorry about that. Using my Facebook page at Indigo Girls Readings, or on Instagram at indigogirl555. Thank you so much for being here. Ciao, and be well.